Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is July's morning tea. It's a little later than what I wanted to release it, but things just got really complicated and busy. So technically I like to kind of release these the first week. However, time got away from me and we're a little past that, but better late than never. So what I like to do in these videos is just kind of recap what I worked with the previous month. So in July, so these are all decks I either brought in July or I worked with for all of July, just different stuff like that. So right off the get-go, I didn't bring too many decks in for July. It was kind of more of book hauls happening. So there's that. I honestly just really felt like getting into books. My relationship or my love affair with books comes and goes. Books tend to be kind of more of a winter thing for me, not so much of a summer thing. But when it gets to be August and it's like 100 out and it's so hot, sometimes I do just like to curl up with a book because I don't want to go outside. It's too hot for me. It's too humid. There's so much humidity. Today we're having a weather change. So we've gone from like 2 weeks of like 90 plus weather with extreme humidity. And now we have a cold front coming through. So today is a very blustery, rainy, quiet day, which works for me, right? It's right after the holiday. So like even though it's Tuesday, it feels like it's Monday. And it's pretty relaxing, to tell you the truth. We literally just went from like 90 degrees, and I believe when I looked at my outdoor thermos temperature thing, it said 64. So we went from 90 to 64 in a matter of a couple hours, which is insane. But welcome to Canada, right? So I already finished my tea for the day. That's long gone. I am well into drinking iced tea now. But let's get in here and look at these decks because I did bring in a couple, not a whole heck of a lot, but let's look at what I did bring in. So since it's come in, it has not left my bedside. It is tarot as color. Um, I have a video of this, but it's like half shot and I didn't finish it. I'm hoping to finish it so that you guys can see it. But I just haven't gotten there yet. So this one I've been working with nonstop since it's come in. It has not left my bedside. 100% loving it, spending time with it, getting lost into this world of crazy colors. And it's insane to me. Let me see if I have any. I don't know if I had this laid out from my reading last night. Might be. Let me see. Okay, right here, like this. So you get this. The interesting thing about this deck, or what I'm encountering with this deck, not sure if other people have or haven't, but this is what I'm encountering. So you have something like this that happens, right? And these are really, really big cards. So you have something like this happen, right? And I get 100% lost in it. This isn't necessarily as perfect as what they usually are, but you get like this dark color, this dark blue, this indigo showing up in this card, which then ends up in this card, and then ends up in this card. And then you have a red that is brought through to this card. And it's just crazy how they like morph into each other, these colors, and create this like palette or grid. I've shared a couple pictures on my Instagram of it, but it's insane. Like I'm just looking to see if any jump out into my mind. But it's interesting, like even something like this, where all of a sudden you'll just have these colors just all show up together. and you're just like, whoa, like that's insane. And it'll literally just be in like the way you lay it, right? I think this was the one I had the other day. And it's just, I don't know, I love color. Like I'm a big color person. And it's like crazy how it just like the colors morph across. Or you'll get two different colors in this card, but then those two colors end up in this card together. Like it's really really interesting. That's the best way that I can explain it. Right off the get go. Sorry, I'm just gonna move this a little bit here. Right off the get go, I thought that these signatures were gonna bug me, and they did the first week. I kept concentrating on them, and then I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. Let it go. And I got over it, and I just started really letting these colors and this palette and this system that's so fluid introduce itself, and now I don't even notice these. And sometimes I actually find that they add to the color metamorphosis that's happening in front of you. I don't even know how to explain it. It's insane. Sorry, my camera's about to die. Nope, it's just going out of focus. Sorry. But it's weird, like metamorphosis that goes on and happens through these cards. It is a very, very interesting deck. I'm quite taken by it. At first, I was like, "Oh, I don't know about this. This like might be a little too complex for me, or just not a system I was used to." It is more of a Thoth-based deck, right? This one right here, always the Emperor. Every time I look at it, I see like beautiful like lips like blowing out smoke. I always think of it as like hot lips. Whenever I see this card, it's like hot lips comes to mind. That's the word. And like it's crazy because I see like different pictures and different things happening in these cards as I lay them, and they're just insane. Quite an amazing experience. And like I've said, I've been working with it all month. From the moment it arrived till now, I'm still working with this deck. I considered putting it away last night or the night before that and try to bring out some more like Leo based decks, but I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to stop working with this quite yet. Uh, it's, it's amazing. And like these ones remind me of like looking down at like pictures of the earth and like water systems or like volcanoes. I don't know. It's magic. This deck is magic. It blows me away. I wish I had the big book that went with it because I feel like there's so much more to this deck that I'm not privy of, right? But like, I don't know, intuitively, I've been really able to tap in. And the funny thing is some of my most unliked cards in decks are some of my most liked cards in this deck. For instance, this one on top, the Hierophant. I am not a fan of the Hierophant card in any deck, usually, but this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I love this Hierophant card. I think it's so magical and beautiful. I don't know, it's enchanting to me. And like these, like they just have like auras around them. Like, I don't know. Great, great deck. I'm really glad that I ended up deciding on this one. Quite an amazing experience with this deck. I love it. Really, really enjoying my time with it and my readings. So, another deck that I've been working with was one that actually came in that I purchased. It was a Kickstarter. It showed up, right? It's this one, The Naked Truth. Um, I've got good things to say about this deck, and I have bad things to say about this deck. I haven't even looked at the book, haven't even gotten into the book. I think it's just like your typical book. Okay, so back this on Kickstarter. I really dislike the pink. I don't not like the color. I just think it doesn't suit this deck. If this was on a different deck, I'd be fine with it, but I feel like it doesn't suit this deck, nor do the backs. I feel like the backs don't suit what's going on in this deck either. I think the clouded background is beautiful, but this pink doesn't do it for me. Not for this deck anyways. These are absolutely gorgeous. They are awesome. I have no problems with them. One more complaint. The creator hid these weird little, like, he computer edited in like weird things like 9 swords. Well, I don't need to see 9 of swords because it says 9 of swords down here, right? So there's just some things that are strange. But I do like for example, this one. I do like that he put the infinity sign. Let me see if I can get to focus. I do like that he put the infinity sign over this character, right? That worked for me. But then you have something like this where you just have 6 circles, 6 pentacles up at the top. I feel like it takes away from the artwork. And then there's some that are like, nothing's been added to them. So you have ones where things have been, but then you have others where it hasn't been. And I feel like it's just really inconsistent. And maybe they're in there, but it's just too dark and you can't, like, it is darker imagery. So maybe you're just not seeing it. But like this here, like these 9 wands, I feel like this kind of wrecked the image. And I don't think I need to see 9 wands. I do like it, but that's kind of irritating to me, the computer generated or placed in swords. And like this one's a 7 of swords. Oh, see, you can barely see it. It's right here in the ribs of the lion. See, my camera's not even going to pick it up. Because the images are really dark, right? It's darker artwork, which is fantastic. But, and then like this one here, like he went and put some weird like triple moon thing. Well, that's more than a triple moon, but like a moon face thing in the moon card. And I just feel like, why? So it's not perfect, right? And that's okay though. I still really like it. And then, like, I'll say it here. He just put like 10 little wands up at the top. See it in the corner right here, which is really inconsistent with the rest of the way we've been seeing it in the cards. And I just feel like that aspect of it could have been left out. Like, I didn't need to see these. You know, we have down here what's going on. I don't need to see nine coins. So I feel like that kind of sometimes irritates me. However, this is the most phenomenal, elegant, upscaled cardstock I have ever experienced. It is a delight to shuffle. It is called Black Core, 3 of Swords. It is called Black Core German cardstock. It is, like, if I was to pick a deck in my collection that has the best cardstock, it's this one. This cardstock is freaking amazing. It feels so nice. It has like a linen texture to it, but it doesn't, like, the linen isn't so in depth and deep that it messes up the picture. It actually kind of looks like canvas. Ugh, it is beautiful. So, I mean, the artwork, love it. The cards, I really like them. I feel I can overlook this, like, weird pink color that's happening on these, um, because of the artwork and the cardstock. Like, honestly, amazing. So, I've seen a couple people already selling them and moving them on. I get ya. But I really enjoy the shuffle, and I do like the way it reads, and I do like the old artwork. So It's going to stay in my collection for now, right? Maybe someday I'll move it on, but for right now, I'm really enjoying it. Another deck that I brought in was this right here, the Curious Cat Club. This thing, okay, first of all, I bought it because I was like, well, it's really cute artwork. I mean, come on now. But I also just wanted it to play cards. Like, I wanted to do solitaire with it. And it's like, it actually gave me a reading that was crazy accurate. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. It's like a little bridge size, right? And I thought it's perfect just to sit down and play solitaire with, which I did, loved it. But I also do readings with it and like personal readings with it, and it's amazing. I've really enjoyed what it has to say. So I don't know. I really like it. I think it's really cute. And the booklet, like super simple and straightforward, right? And I grabbed it, I think, for like 15 bucks. I don't even know, maybe 17. So it's by the same creator as the Sassurabito. Her name is, I'm going to say it wrong. I know it right now. So I want to say Sasha, but I don't think it's Sasha. I think it's Stasia Burrington. I might be saying that wrong. I'm really sorry if I am. But lovely, lovely person. Dealt with her while buying the Sassurabito. Just an amazing individual. And I love the Sassurabito. I still enjoy it. It's still in my collection. And I really like her artwork. I really like the energy of her stuff. So love it. Had to grab it. It was so cheap and it's just adorable, right? Another one that I ended up getting my hands on and working with for the entire month, I just put this away, is the Tarot of the Abyss. I like my black and white scaled decks. I enjoy them very much. Really, really like the line work in this. Really like the sketching in this. Who's this by? Is this US Games? Yeah, it's US Games. So good cardstock, right? But I really enjoyed the way that this read. And I really enjoy the fact that they give you multiple cards to pick from. One of them being the Three of Swords. So there's two different versions of the Three of Swords in here. Let me get into the book and see. So you have your traditional, more of your like Rider Waite version, and then you have more of your alternate card, right? The other Three of Swords, where it's more numerologically based. So I thought that was really cool. There's another one in here too, where they gave you an alternate card that you could put in. The Ten of Swords. I thought it was the Ten of Swords. Okay. So the Ten of Swords. So you have more of your traditional Ten of Swords where the figure is being stabbed in the back with multiple swords. And then you have your alternate card, which is more for people who read numerologically, where it's about completion of mental progression, a full circle, things coming to an end, right? And I don't know if there's another one in here, if it was just the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords. I think those are the only ones that had the alternate versions, but I think that that's amazing, right? And for me, I kept both in, and just whichever one shows up is whichever one shows up. But I'm really enjoying, I don't know, I like the way it read. I really enjoyed it. I I like the line work. I like the art. There's a lot of female based characters in this. Like a lot of the majors are female based, which I loved. So there's a lot of feminine energy in this deck, which you wouldn't really expect. But a lot of the majors are female. And if we find some here, I already passed some, but let's see if there's more. So we have the wise one, which is not female. There's a couple that aren't, but like your fool is a female. The chariot is a female. Strength is a female, which it usually typically is. The world is feminine. The magician, that looks masculine. Stars feminine, which it usually is. But I just feel like there's more women. The hermit is a crone. I don't know. I just felt a lot more feminine energy in this deck. I was expecting it to be more masculine, honestly, because of the cover of the box with the emperor on it. It to me, I was like, oh, this is going to be a really masculine deck. I actually find it extremely like feminine, a lot of femininity in it. So it works for me. I tend to like my more feminine based decks. I'm kind of more Dianic that way, right? So yeah, like the death is like an older crone with a tree and like the cosmos. This is a really good deck. I really honestly enjoyed it. I like the backs. I look forward to reading with this in the fall and in the winter months. More of the fall. Once I get past like January, I start to bring out more like lighter colors, little softer colors, pastels, even different stuff like that. Don't have too many pastel decks, but you know what I mean, like the softer, gentler, washed out colored palettes. For usually September, October, November, I stick to kind of more of like the darker, simpler line work, even black base cards, white backgrounds, even more just sketches, like not a lot of color, more of your earthy tones, if anything. So this is definitely one that I will be bringing back out shortly because I felt like I wasn't done with it and I put it away to kind of switch out the energy because I wanted to embrace Leo, right? So I wanted to bring something a little bit more summery, that hot summer Leo based energy. And I didn't default to the typical, which is like the Lioness Oracle, right? I did not default to that. I actually ended up going with the White Newman, and I've been working with the White Newman, but I'll show you that in the August TNC. But for right now, that's kind of where I was at. I didn't have that crazy of a month purchasing, other than, like I said, books, and I'm not going to bring those all out. If you want to see all the books that I purchased, pretty much all of them can be seen on the Postus Oracle book haul video that I did just a few videos ago. And honestly, it's just been kind of hanging out. I've been really busy cleaning up my vintage deck haul that I ended up getting. I've got like a whole system going on. I have like an airtight bag that has baking soda in it. So they're going into that for 24 to 48 hours, depending on their stink factor. Then they're being moved into a sealed Tupperware container that has Paleo Santo and sandalwood incense in it, and they're hanging out in that for 24 to 48 hours. And then I take them out, let them kind of air out a little bit, see how they smell in a day or two, and if they're still stinking, then I repeat the whole cycle over again. And that's kind of where I've been going. After they smell good too, I've also been doing like a little ritual where I just kind of cleanse them with a little bit of either frankincense or myrrh or copal, and I just light that little resin on a little piece of coal, and I use that smoke, and I'm just blessing them, not even blessing them, just kind of clearing them. They're very stagnant. They've been sitting a while in a basement or a crawl space or something. So a lot of the time they just kind of need to be activated and woken up a little bit. Just used, right? Because they're just kind of like, they've just been hanging out. Um, and they need to kind of be activated and woken up a little bit. Some of them I've knocked on the box to just kind of wake them up and say, hey, hey, like, come on, you're going to get used. Because I feel like they're kind of like in a deep hibernation mode in a way. It's really quite interesting. Other than that, though, that's kind of where we're at. It's been a somewhat a busy month, but like a quiet month at the same time, which is very contradictory, but true. And yeah, so I'll have more to show you guys on the August one. This one, like I said, a little on the quiet side, but that's okay because Once in a while, it's nice to have a quiet month, and not everything needs to be about purchasing tarot decks and oracles and all this different stuff. I've spent actually a lot of time in August just clearing. I'm still going through my collection. I'm still clearing stuff out. And I still have probably about another 5 decks that I'm just on the edge with, and I'm kind of like I'm leaning closer to getting rid of than keeping, especially since my vintage haul. But yeah, so that's kind of how it's been. For those of you who are interested in being a little bit more involved into my world and what I do here or how I practice or live, I did start out by introducing a membership space on here, but I ended up getting really overwhelmed with it, and just I was too busy to fully commit to it. So I ended up kind of shutting that down. So for those of you who are wondering where that went, that's what happened. But right now I'm starting to kind of look at possibly starting up a Patreon. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it quite yet. I'm still setting it up and developing it. Pay attention. There'll be obviously some posts or something going on about that once I get it ready to go. And I'm just going to kind of try to see, what that world's all about and how that's all going. I kind of feel I like the atmosphere and energy on Patreon better than the membership space here on YouTube. Not to speak ill of it, just my opinion and how it suits me better, right? So that's kind of how that all is. There's going to be a bunch of changes happening. I'm just slowly working through my channel and trying to make it more reflective of my personality and who I am. Kind of threw it up and got going, and then started, wanting to make little changes and little things. So expect some changes happening. And like I said, I'm just trying to make it more like me and more of a reflection of who I am. So there will be changes coming. Nothing crazy, just some fun stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.